A lot of talk about Kyle Hendricks going on the IL. Yeah, we're going to straighten that out. He's not going on the IL. Did have a rough outing, and he's had a tough start to the season. But the professor isn't going on the IL with a shoulder injury. And we're going to talk about how this whole thing got started. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, and let's talk some Cubs baseball. All right, with Anthony Pasquale, I'm Mick Gillispie. Welcome to the Cubs Baseball channel. Guys, just a quick little update. And Anthony and I were talking about this off air because some of you guys in the comment section think that Kyle Hendricks is going on the IL. Let's clear this up, Anthony.
Yeah, Kyle Hendricks to the injured list, not so fast. So it was a tweet in the middle of the game when he had given up his third straight 5+ earned run allowed outings. Somebody in Cubs Twitter tweeted, Cubs place right-handed pitcher Kyle Hendricks on the 15-day injured list with shoulder inflammation. And then right after said he just keeps getting hit over and over again. It was a joke. It was essentially saying like, man, the Cubs need to throw him on the IL with a phantom injury just so we can figure some stuff out. Obviously, it was tweeted in the middle of the game. It has no sources. And then all of a sudden it gets picked up on a fairly reputable site, SI.com, throws the article out, Chicago Cubs World Series veteran placed on IL again. That was 16 hours ago, and it's still on the site, even though nobody from the Cubs, nobody that actually covers the Cubs, no Jordan Bastian or Patrick Mooney, Sahadev Sharma, any of those guys have tweeted anything near the sort, nothing out of marquee. So he's not going on the IL. Did he have a bad outing? Yes. Is he not himself? Yes. Is he going on the IL? No.
Jesse Rogers posted yesterday on Twitter, tough start to the season for Kyle Hendricks. Per ESPN stat info, the 17 earned runs allowed this season are tied for the second most by a Cubs pitcher in their first 3 games of a season since earned runs became official in 1913. Gave up 7 to the Padres yesterday. So, we talked about it, and I saw him in the post game. You saw him too. He's very frustrated. I think he understands the first off, the enormity of what's going on right now. And for him, it's that he's just missing location on certain pitches and he's getting hit really hard when he does that. Craig Counsell talked about third time through the lineup, they're teeing off on him. And I guess the point of our show earlier today was when that happens, you either get it corrected or at this stage of his career, you move on, or maybe you go to the bullpen. I don't know, but it's been rough. And I certainly hope for him. And I think all of us on here kind of feel the same way. We would love to see him get it figured out because that he's a good dude and he can be an important part of the team. But right now the struggles are there. They're real, but it's not because of a shoulder injury and he's not going on the IL.
Yeah, he said yesterday after the game to reporters, he said, be consistent and give my team a chance to win every time out. That's the goal. And right now, it's just so far from that. So you can tell he's frustrated. You can tell he's pissed off. You can tell he wants to get these things corrected. And you also know that the Cubs, if there's any guy they're going to give a longer leash to, it's Hendricks. He's been there. He's done that before. I even read on Twitter that an unnamed member in the Cubs clubhouse went up to him and told him, keep your head up. We're behind you the whole way. So they're going to rally around this guy. They would much rather him figure it out than have him off the team. And that's the reason he got a contract for this year is he provides so much value in terms of just teaching young guys, not how to throw the ball, how to pitch the ball. Mm-hmm. But right now it hasn't looked great. But like you said, we're rooting for him to figure it out. Now, before we go, Mick, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If Hendricks were hurt, who would you like to see come up and either fill his spot in the rotation or, replenish the bullpen if they go to a 4-man rotation or Ben Brown, whatever the case may be? What would you like to see happen if Hendricks were to go down? This is assuming Tyone and Steele are still not ready to come back up.
Yeah, the guy that's really been impressive in Iowa is Thomas Pannone, who just continues to wheel and deal. 3 quality starts to open the season. He's a left-hander. His last time out, 5 innings, 3 hits with 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's got some experience. I'm guessing that it would be him. Obviously, he's not on the 40-man roster, and that's always an issue when you're dealing with players coming up from Iowa and going to the major leagues. But now that Ben Brown is in the big leagues, it could be somebody like that you're looking at and going, okay, yeah, here's the next guy that could slide up. I know somebody tweeted at me, Cole Franklin. Cole Franklin got moved from Double A to Triple A, so he's still got to kind of master that level before he makes the jump. Cade Horton debuted in Double A yesterday, did well. He's done well in every single start he's had, but it feels like they're being very patient with him and his development. So I wouldn't put him in that category yet. Sam McWilliams is a guy who was like working in the private sector, came in as a substitute in an amateur game throwing 98, going, I think, to Mexico, and then the Cubs signed him. Who knows? I mean, this guy was like a prospect for years on a bunch of different, teams and organizations. Philly, I saw him when he was with the Tampa Bay minor league team. And he's in AAA Iowa right now. I've talked about Cam Sanders being an option, but he's not a starter. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like when it comes to Kyle Hendricks, that you can only there a couple more of these and they're going to find another option. So
Yeah,
I hope he figures it out.
I do too. And I think Hayden Wesneski is another name to keep an eye on. I know he's on the 40-man, so
Yeah.
he would be a lot easier to bring up. I know you mentioned Cam Sanders having a really good start, but he's a reliever. And we keep mentioning Carl Edwards Jr. I assume sooner rather than later, not even because of a Hendricks injury, but sooner rather than later, I would imagine he'll be up on the big league team.
Mm-hmm. Moral of the story is you probably have to put the laughing emoji on there so that no one takes you seriously when you drop a joke on Twitter these days.
To be fair, there was an asterisk at the beginning and an asterisk at the end, so I feel like that was enough for me to tell it was a joke. I guess some people weren't or were fooled, I should say, by it.
Yeah, pretty funny stuff. And I've been in this spot before too. You say something and the media runs with it.
Yeah.
So that's the story. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We will talk to you again tomorrow when the Cubs get set to play the Mariners in Seattle around that fish wrap. Thanks for hanging out with us right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. We'll talk to you soon.